A powerful motivational story. Between the tall mountains there was a peaceful valley. The valley was full of green trees, cool fresh air, and a clear river that flowed gently through the land. In this quiet place stood a small hut where a wise old master lived. People respected him deeply because he was not only knowledgeable but also understood the deeper truths of life. People came from distant villages and cities to meet him. Some came to ask about their life problems. Some wanted to learn the secret of success. Others were simply searching for peace of mind. The master always listened patiently and then gave simple but meaningful advice. One day, a young man arrived in the valley. He came from a big city and believed that he was very intelligent. He had read many books about philosophy, psychology, and success. He had listened to speeches of famous thinkers and motivational speakers. However, despite all this knowledge, he still felt restless and unsatisfied. For many days he had been thinking that maybe this wise master knew the secret that could give him true success and peace in life. After a long journey, the young man finally reached the master's small hut. The environment there was calm and beautiful. Birds were singing on the trees. The wind carried a refreshing coolness through the valley. The young man knocked on the door. The master came outside. His face was calm and gentle. His eyes showed deep wisdom. The young man greeted him respectfully and said, "Master, I have come here to learn from you." The master smiled and invited him inside. As soon as the young man sat down, he started speaking. "Master, I have studied many things about life. I have read books about success and philosophy. I have listened to many great speakers. I understand many ideas about life and achievement. But still, I feel something is missing. I want you to tell me the secret of life." The master quietly listened to him. "They never say they are big enough." The young man listened carefully. The master continued, "Human beings should be like these trees. They should always keep learning. If the mind stays open, a person can learn something new every day." These words touched the young man's heart. Slowly he said, "Master, now I understand what I must do. I need to empty my mind first." The master nodded gently. "Yes," he said. "When you empty your mind, new light and wisdom can enter it." The young man stayed with the master for several days. During that time, he learned to speak less. He also learned to listen more. He watched nature carefully. He thought deeply about the master's words. He also tried to understand himself better. Gradually, the restlessness in his heart began to disappear. He started feeling calm and peaceful. He realized something very important. True peace does not come from pride in knowledge. It comes from the humility to keep learning. After a few days, it was time for him to leave. He respectfully said, "Master, I came here searching for a secret. But you have given me the greatest lesson of life." The master smiled warmly. He replied gently, "Always remember one thing. The person who keeps his mind open can learn from everywhere." The young man returned to the city. But he was no longer the same person. Now he listened carefully to others. He kept learning new things. He never claimed that he knew everything. With time, he became a wise and successful person. People began coming to him for advice. Whenever someone asked him the secret of success, he would smile and say one simple sentence: "If you truly want to learn, first empty your mind." Moral: a person who keeps an open mind and learns with humility will achieve true success and peace in life. The young man continued talking. He spoke about his knowledge, his ideas, and the things he had learned. A long time passed. Finally, the master gently said, "My son, first let us have some tea." The young man nodded. The master placed 2 cups on a small table. He brought a teapot filled with hot tea. Slowly, he began pouring tea into the young man's cup. The cup soon became full. But the master kept pouring. Tea began to overflow from the cup. It spilled onto the table. The young man became surprised. He quickly said, "Master, the cup is full. No more tea can go into it." The master stopped pouring tea. He looked calmly at the young man. Then he said softly, "Just like this cup, your mind is also full." The young man looked confused. The master continued speaking. "You came here to learn something new. But your mind is already filled with your own knowledge. It is filled with your opinions and your pride. When a cup is full, no more tea can be poured into it. In the same way, when the mind is full, new wisdom cannot enter." Hearing this, the young man became silent. For the first time, he realized something important. He understood that he had been speaking too much. And he had been listening too little. The master continued in a calm voice. "The biggest obstacle in learning is when a person believes he already knows everything. When that happens, his growth stops." The young man felt the truth of these words. He lowered his head. He spoke in a quiet voice. "Master, I think you are right. I believed that I knew many things." The master smiled kindly. "Knowledge is good," he said. "But humility is even more important." Then the master took the young man outside. He pointed toward the wide valley. Green trees were growing everywhere. They stood tall and peaceful. The master said, "Look at these trees. They are strong and tall. But they continue to grow toward the sky.